going to do tonight. I need a few people, preferably friends, so maybe those that are sitting together, that love to, wait, I have volunteers before you know what you're doing. I need you guys that love to sing, are not afraid of singing. I'm going to go for that big group of girls right there in the back. Sorry, very back row. All right. So if you could all come up here, I want to tell you a little bit, I want to tell you a little bit about the music during the Dark Ages. The Dark Ages is when the secret church existed, right? Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to sing a piece of music, and then you all, I'm going to basically teach it to you, right? I'll sing it, and then you all will sing it with me, okay? All right. So listen carefully, because this is what they were singing back then. La la la. Miserere nostri Domine, quia feceavimus tibi. Maybe we should stop there. All right, so next. All right, it's your turn. You're gonna sing what I just sang. Ready? On your mark, get set. Do you guys want to help them out? Yeah! Okay. So all of those of you that want to help them out, let me just sing that one more time so you can all get this. It's really not hard. It only goes between two notes. Okay. Miserere nostri Domine, quia feceavimus tibi. I think we have a problem. Do you see a problem here?
Yes, I don't know.
It's not in English, right? I mean, this is a little unfair to call you up here. It's not in English. And does it really have a melody?
Yeah!
I mean, it's beautiful, right? It's a Gregorian chant. Okay, you all can sit down. Thank you for helping me out. You look relieved. I know you like to sing, though.
You guys sounded great. Very good.
Good job. So, listen up, because here's the problem. In the Dark Ages, that's what was being sung, and no one knew what it meant, and no one could catch on. They couldn't even read. See, I'm reading what the priests would have been reading, but I don't know what it says. Is it meaningful? No.
Google Translate.
Yeah, Google Translate, right? But that didn't exist back then. So it's not even meaningful. So do you know what Martin Luther thought?
He translated.
He thought, we need to translate these. We need to give the power from the leaders of the church to the common people. Now, I noticed something interesting as we were singing the opening hymn tonight. I noticed that most of you were singing. So I'm guessing that most of you speak English. All right. We have the blessing of being able to sing and participate. We can sing and participate in worship in our language. But back then you would just sit in a pew and listen to other people do it. So one thing that the Protestant Reformation did is it gave common people like you and me the ability to participate in musical worship. So I want you to repeat something after me, okay? Can we all do that? And it's in English, I promise. Music always accompanies a movement. Always accompanies a movement. Good, one more time. Music always accompanies a movement. Now, did you know the Reformation, it made a whole new set of music. Is that my mic? It did a whole new set of music because it was a movement and it wanted people to move with it. And music, what? Always accompanies a movement. Guess what? There have been other movements, like, how about the Adventist movement? Do you know a song that was written for the Adventist movement? Right here. Oh, when shall I see Jesus? Because Jesus was coming soon. So I got to keep an eye on the time here. But there were other, have you ever heard of spiritualism? It's kind of this idea that, like, you're God and I'm God. And there's really, like, we're all gods.
That was in the 1850s.
It started back then, 1850s, right? But do you know it's really strong today? And guess what? Is there music that accompanies the New Age movement?
Yeah.
Yes. And interestingly enough, have you ever heard New Age music? Does it have a distinct melody? It's just kind of ethereal. It just kind of does. It just kind of goes around and around. Why? Because in spiritualism, there is really no definite. You're God, I'm God, we're all God. There's no strong moral compass. It's just kind of you do what you want to do, I'll do what I want to do. And the music reflects that. Now we live in kind of what we call a pop culture today, right? And you've heard of like hip hop music, you've heard of rock and roll. Guess what? Do you think that accompanied a movement? Absolutely it did. 1960s. You have the hippie movement, you have more atheism, and you have all these songs that are accompanying a movement toward being more secular. Let's get rid of God and let's do whatever we want. And you have a lot of music that was written for that purpose. But the second thing I want to tell you, okay, what was the first point? Music always accompanies a movement. Secondly, music always conveys a message. Can you say that with me? Music always conveys a message. Some people will tell you, it doesn't matter. The music is not really what's important, it's the words. Have you ever heard that? Yeah, music's not really what's important, it's the words.
No, it's not.
But let me tell you, as a composer, I can tell you that I can feed you emotions and I can give you what to feel just by doing certain types of music. So I need a volunteer to come up and help me compose. Oh, I picked from the middle section last time. Let's go with you. Be here tomorrow. I know, yeah, I'm gonna pick you. So here's the problem. We're gonna be doing another Light Unshackled series, and we're gonna have stories, and I haven't composed the music yet. So I'm gonna tell you what a story is, and you're gonna tell me what type of music I should make for that story, okay? Why? Because music always conveys a message. Okay, so the first story we have, there's a Catholic procession going on, and they have Virgin Mary, and they're walking along a bridge, and you're going to hear this story in depth tomorrow. You will not want to miss it. And this man, I won't give his name away, but he sees this, and he knows that the Bible says, you shall not worship images. And so he kind of sneaks through the crowd. Listen for keywords. Sneaks through the crowd. He grabs the image out of the priest's hand, and he runs the other way. Meanwhile, the crowd sees what's happening, and they start to do what? Chase him, because they're wanting to throw him into the river for stealing their idol. So we want to convey this idea of a chase. What are some words that come to mind or emotions when you think of a chase? Suspensefulness. How do you think that's created?
Whether or not he's going to get caught.
Whether or not he's going to get caught. So there's a level of uncertainty, right? Tension. And there's probably some rhythm going on, because imagine someone getting chased. You kind of have this idea of footsteps running, right? Fast. I love it. Okay, so I'm going to do something on the piano, and you can tell me if it kind of fits our criteria, right? It has to be fast. It has to be kind of suspenseful. It's probably building tension, so I'm going to want to start taking things up. I'm not going to want to start going down, right? So this would not really be a chase. Yeah, not really. It's not building. It's not tense. Okay. So how about this? Can you hold the mic for me?
On the piano.
Do you want to hold it to here? Let's see.
I like that.
Now, what if I want to add some drama? How about some bass? That's right. Are you feeling it? Yeah, because what is that conveying? The music itself is conveying
A message.
a chase. There's drama. You don't know what's going to happen. It has you on the edge of your seats. You can sit down. Thank you. In fact,
Can you keep playing it?
yeah, keep playing it, right? Listen to the documentary. It's on there. And you listen for where there's a chase and you'll hear it. The first one, so you'll have to go back and watch it again. Now, interestingly enough, when was the quietest this room was?
When no one was in here.
I know one was in here, right? But it's easy to be quiet when there's no one around. But the real secret of music is that it can glue you to your seats and it can give you a feeling because it's conveying a message. Were there any words with that? In fact, if I hadn't given you a story, would you have known what I was doing? Oh yeah, you guys are bright. Don't let culture tell you that music does not have a message. Music has a message. All right, I think we have time. Let's see. How about... Oh, this is a good one. Okay, I need another volunteer. Oh, let's do the girl in the orange shirt over there. I'm just trying to get diversity.
I'm always choosing girls.
You're right. I need to start choosing guys. That'll give more diversity.
Next time.
All right. So what's your name? Melania. Beautiful name. So Melania. Okay. Here's the situation. In the Dark Ages, there was kind of the state church. You've been learning about the state church or the Catholic Church, right? And they taught a lot of things that made people fearful. And we call them superstitions. So what kinds of feelings do you think when you think of superstitious?
Kind of creepy,
Creepy. Anything else?
sad.
A little bit sad. Now, is superstitious, do you think of that as being really fast and lively? Not really. Okay, so wait a minute. So you mean that can you hold the mic for a second? You mean this isn't superstitious right here? No? Okay. I think I better work on. I'm glad I have you guys here because I need this feedback because I'm doing another documentary. So superstitious needs to be maybe. Do you think of superstitious as being really full and across the keyboard? Not really. It's kind of
Super low.
super low.
Ominous.
Ominous. Okay, can you hold the mic for the piano? Let's try a few things out and see what they think. How about, even instrument change? I can do it with this one because, okay, here we go. You will not. Okay, you can sit down the line. So, interestingly enough, there are certain intervals you can use that will give a sense of that superstitious feeling, that eeriness, that tension. And one of them is when you have really close intervals together. So, okay, so like when you're half a step apart, it gives that sense of like, and I don't know why, I'll be honest, because I didn't come up with the laws of music, but music conveys what? A message. And you would know exactly what I was trying to tell you just from hearing that. I'm almost out of time.
No, you got
Okay. We'll do it. Play a happy song. How about? Okay. I mean, if we get too loud, we're not going to be able to keep going. So let's do. I have two more I could do. Okay, I'm going to have to choose some guys here. So red shirt in the middle. Okay. Come over here. What's your name?
Asher.
Asher. Nice to meet you, Asher. Okay, so the next story that happened, you know, there was, I don't know if you caught this in Light Unshackled 1, but there was actually a king that was going to get coronated, and he was going to become the emperor of all of Europe. And the papacy took the responsibility upon themselves to coronate him, because obviously a representative of God is more powerful than the most powerful man on earth, right? So we want to give this idea of a coronation. A coronation. So what kinds of things do you think of when you think of a king being crowned or coronated?
Happy, a little bit fast.
Oh, yeah.
Majestic.
So probably happy. I mean, it depends on the king though, right? So it could be happy or maybe ominous, but definitely majestic. Grand, yes. Loud, big, right? So what kinds of, Asher, what types of instruments do you think you would use?
Trumpet.
Oh, trumpets, maybe the horns, all of the brass. Okay, I don't have brass. I'm so sorry, guys. This keyboard fails me. But let's go back to the grand piano. That's us. Okay, why don't you hold this? And I'm going to try to go for what we're going for, whatever that is. Okay, thank you, Asher, for helping. I feel like I'm going to have to work on my coronations, but I think I need the right instruments. So let's do one more. Okay, let's take our friend over here with the Strong Tower Radio sticker. Noah? Okay. I will call you Noah. Okay. So, you know, there's one thing that I love about the Reformers and about people that love the Lord. Yes, I do love that actually. But when they would study the Bible, it's like they would have this higher experience. And it's like they would come across truths and it's like, wow. So I'm wondering, how would I convey that sense of like they're coming across new truths. They're coming across new truths.
Like it starts low and then it goes high as they're finding out.
Ooh, I think we have some composers in here. I'm not gonna lie, you guys need to go into music. You teach yourself songs. You know what, I can tell. Because you guys know, you can feel what different things should have. So let's try that. Why don't you hold the mic to the piano, start low, and go high, because it's an elevating experience. Thank you, Noah, for helping me on that. And that was awesome. Yeah, that's right. All right. So let's just review real quick, and then I'm going to finish up with one last point, and I'm going to let you think about it because you all are Bible students, and I know you will take it home and you will study it. Our first point. Does anyone remember our first point? You with your hand up. Okay. Someone else. Does anyone? What's our first point? Music always accompanies a movement, and let me tell you, we believe that we are at the end of time. We are the final movement in the last days. So what do you think needs to be happening among this group right now? You guys need to start making music with a message that tells people that Jesus is coming soon. Music always accompanies a movement. God's call is for us to move that movement forward, and music does that. Secondly, music.
Music always has a message.
Music always has a message, and don't let people tell you otherwise. Music always has a message, and it will get that message to you, whether it's consciously or subconsciously. And lastly, what I want to share with you, and I want you to go home and study this, is that in the Bible, music is always linked. Well, music can be with lots of things, but you will see that music is linked with true worship, and music is linked with false worship. And so I'm going to give you a homework assignment because I'm out of time. And I want you to come back tomorrow night and tell your teachers what is an example in the Bible where music was linked with false worship. Okay, that's your homework. Thank you guys. I loved my time with you. We should do it again.
So, Mrs. Mills, I'm going to be here tomorrow night. How about we have them share with you just before I speak? Does that sound good? So can you guys have something ready for tomorrow night? Yeah! Okay, and then she's going to take the first couple of moments before I get up and I share. We go through some really exciting stories, and you'll get to hear from her. You guys can share with her. Does that sound good? Amen! All right, thank you.